Are you a Google Ads beginner? You've got a small budget, you're struggling to get your ads profitable for your e-commerce store? Then listen up, I'm going to share with you my best strategy for those on a small budget. So when I say a small budget, what am I talking about? To me, anything under $50 is probably going to be a small budget, probably even under 30, but $50 is pretty small, 30 is very small, 20 is very small. If your budget is somewhere there per day, we're talking, it's a small budget, this strategy is perfect for you. If your budget's bigger than this, I have a video with another strategy that I say is probably the best overall strategy for most people. I'll leave a link to that below and you can watch that. But if not, keep watching. The issue with a small budget with Google Ads is that we need to change our approach so that we can actually bank some profit quickly. We also need to be really strict with how we spend our money before actually getting a sale. So on specific products, assets and things like that, we need to be strict. It's actually much harder to work Google Ads, to make them work on a small budget than it is on a large budget, just because you can try different things, you've got more time, the algorithm can find you more buyers. It works a lot easier on a slightly bigger budget. It is trickier, but it's not impossible. This is because we aren't giving the algorithm enough data or enough time to find us buyers, which is a problem because Google is a slow game. So on a smaller budget, this is a much bigger problem. Now with this strategy, I'm going to assume, and this video has come off the back of a follower saying, how can I make my ads work? I've run a PMax, it's not working. I'm going to assume you're running PMax because a lot of beginners are running a PMax campaign, a Performance Max. So I'm going to assume you've run a PMax, and what should you do if the PMax doesn't work, or where you want a really low risk approach to Google Ads? The answer is going to be a good old fashioned standard shopping campaign for an e-commerce store, right? That's going to be my suggestion. I'm going to show you my low budget strategy. I've been teaching this and showing this for about 8 years now. It still works. I know a lot of you are going to say, hey, you've shown this before, but please wait. There are a few differences, a few nuances, and a few obviously changes to the dashboard with Google Ads. So stay tuned. I'll take you into the Ads Manager, talk you through the approach, and I hope it helps you. Okay, so let's jump into Google Ads Manager and I'll take you through this low budget Google Ads strategy for beginners. Okay, we're now inside the Google Ads Manager. Yours will look very, very similar. What is the strategy? The strategy is a single standard shopping campaign targeting all of your products. I know I'm gonna get heat for this, but this is the best low budget strategy out there, okay? PMax may work. I'm assuming you've tried PMax and it's not working here. So before you say anything, this is why I'm doing this, and this has worked for 8 years. If you have a better way, please do it, okay? But for now, let's do a single standard shopping campaign. The trick is gonna be, we're gonna bid very, very low, and we're going to review the negative keywords very, very frequently, more than normal. And anything that isn't converting, we're gonna remove. Any products that aren't converting once we hit a certain dollar value, that dollar value is gonna depend on you. I've in the past given you parameters, and I'm happy to, within the strategy, provide what I would think would be fair, but you're gonna be totally different. Your price point will depend on how many clicks you need to get before you get a sale, but be very, very strict. And set yourself a limit. Maybe it'll be $5 or $10 on a keyword. If it doesn't convert, we're getting rid of it. Same with a product. Maybe it's the profit margin or the full retail price, or it might be a number of clicks. I prefer a number of clicks because then you're getting a good gauge as to, have I collected enough data or not. So we're gonna now make, obviously for this to work, you need to have everything linked in your merchant center. If you haven't, please go and do that. It's very, very easy through Shopify and through almost every other platform. I'm not gonna create any more videos on that because it's just so easy. You can do this. And we are gonna let this run for a while before making any changes. At the very least, I would say 2 weeks. If you can, and if you have the budget, just so we can get some information, because the first few days is probably gonna do nothing. So now we're inside the Ads Manager. How do we create this campaign? We click the blue Create a Campaign. We go New Campaign. We then click Sales, because we want sales. And I want you to remove everything here, phone leads, all that stuff, and just leave purchases here. Obviously you need to have the purchase goal created for this to work. Now we are going to select Shopping, not Performance Max. We're going to select the correct feed, and don't go Performance Max here, click Standard Shopping. And we're gonna call this Standard Shopping testing campaign. We're going to call it testing because this is where we're going to test products. Ideally, you want to be adding products to this quite frequently, as many as you can. Google is a numbers game for products for the most part, particularly if you're in a smaller country like Australia. You're going to need more than 1, 2, 3 products. You're going to need a lot of products to hit big numbers, otherwise it's just not going to happen. Click continue, or unlikely to. It's not going to, it's unlikely to. For some reason, it's asking me to name the product again. Standard shopping, testing campaign. Now, a lot of you like to use manual CPC. Go for it if you want. This strategy is going to work exactly the same if you do or don't. Some of you might not even have that available. Manual CPC with eCPC is disappearing. Just go max clicks. Set yourself a bid. You know, the lower the better. You could start at 25 cents and work your way up. 25 cents might be way too low and you have to come back in. After a few days, hasn't got any impressions or clicks, increase that by 5 cents and just keep increasing it by 5 cents until it starts to deliver, and then leave it. We're going to put our budget in. We said low budget, we're going to put $25 here. Campaign priority doesn't matter because it's going to be our only campaign. I would turn off search network, select your country. Now, if you have a small budget and you make more profit shipping a product locally and you have stock, just select your local area. There's probably going to be enough search volume if you're in, a big city, like say Sydney in Australia or Brisbane or Melbourne, any of these cities, wherever you are in the world. If you're in a major city, your city or state is probably going to have enough traffic for you to make some good sales on. Particularly select the location where, if you are actually physically shipping this, where you make the most profit. Shipping doesn't eat into your margins. Just select that location and just go for that, which you would do that in here and just put it in. You can select the whole country as well. Like I said, if you're going to make more money doing it locally, start off there and then build on it. Add group name, we're just going to go all products. We're going to click create campaign. Your campaign is up and running now. I recommend creating a subdivision with, if you have it by category, you can do that. You can do it by item ID. Select all of them. So there's 89 products here. Save and continue. And the reason we do this is once we start getting a bit of information here, spend $10, $15, whatever your limit is going to be, you can remove it. Now, if you physically house these products and you are only willing to spend $10, you've probably got a bigger issue in your business because you probably shouldn't have warehoused those products or physically bought them. You're probably going to want to spend more to collect some information because I've spent sometimes hundreds or thousands of dollars before we've been able to make a product profitable. So there's a process of making a product profitable on Google if it isn't initially anyway. Lots of things, feed optimization, getting more conversions, giving it conversion data to move up and things like that. Now, what are you going to do with this, right? You're going to let this run, like I said, a week, 2 weeks, as long as you possibly can. The longer the better, to be honest. Probably don't want to go more than a month, I would say, but let it collect some data. Then come back in, review your keywords. Sorry, they've moved to search terms now. Review the search terms, add any in that aren't getting conversions, have a low click-through rate, or are not relevant to what you're selling. If they're not relevant to what you're selling, just get rid of them. Now, keep in mind, this strategy is probably going to remove some keywords that would have gotten you results over time. So as you grow with this strategy, you probably will be removing some of those negative keywords and allowing the ads to trigger again. So just food for thought there and just something to keep in mind. Products wise, go in here and regularly review this. Look at how we're getting conversions, how much have I spent, what's the click-through, things like that. And then be brutal. Like if it's not working, just get rid of it. Particularly if you're not actually physically owning those products and you're just drop shipping or you're just testing things out, you've only got a couple and you can liquidate locally or whatever you plan to do. Just do that. This strategy is a far less risky way to test products than the PMax strategy because it gives you a bit more control as to what you're bidding. You're not going to get some of those great keywords. You're not going to appear for everything you want. So don't even think about doing that because your budget is just too small to even try to do that. You're in a different league. You need to approach this totally differently. But once this starts to work, you can increase your budget. You can start increasing your bids. You could move to PMax down the track, but I recommend you get a lot of things in order, improve your landing page, improve your conversion rate, get some email marketing, SMS marketing, get some Facebook remarketing. You might get some Facebook ads running to your best sellers, some TikTok, all the other areas, Pinterest, and just build. That's the idea of scaling. Like, you're slowly building and building and building. So that's the strategy. And yeah. So thank you so much, guys. I hope that helped you. Please let me know in the comments below if this strategy does help you. If you want a checklist of this strategy, so a Google Ads beginner checklist, I'm gonna leave a link below to that for you to download, and then you can use it anytime you're making a new campaign or you're struggling. Just refer back to that and it will help you get back on the right path. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. I hope this has helped you. Thanks so much, and see you in the next one.